If you've crossed the age of 20, the world should slowly begin to know your name. People should know that you were born for a purpose. If you're over 20 and no one knows who you are or what you stand for, then ask yourself, are you truly living or are you merely existing? If you disappeared tonight, would the world notice tomorrow? Not your family, not the people who know your face. I'm talking about the world outside your comfort zone. Would anyone say, that person changed my life? Or would the morning arrive as if you had never existed? That question hurts because deep inside every human being, there is a silent desire, not just to live, but to matter. Not just to breathe, but to leave behind something that refuses to die. My friend, if you've crossed the age of 20, the clock is no longer asking what you want to become. It is asking, what have you become? There comes a moment in every person's life when birthdays stop being celebrations and start becoming reminders. Reminders that another year has gone. Another opportunity has passed. Another dream has quietly waited for you to finally wake up. You tell yourself, I still have time. But time never speaks. It simply leaves silently without saying goodbye. Every sunrise takes one page from your life. Every sunset closes another chapter forever. And one day you'll wake up only to realize that the years you thought you had have disappeared into memories. Look around. Millions of people wake up every morning. They complain, they scroll, they compare, they blame, then they sleep. And tomorrow, they repeat exactly the same routine. Years pass. Nothing changes except the number on their birthday cake. Is that living or is that surviving? There is a difference. Surviving means your heart beats. Living means your purpose breathes. One keeps you alive. The other makes your existence meaningful. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror. Not today, but 30 years from now. Your hair is gray. Your hands tremble. Your eyes carry stories that no one ever heard. You stare at your reflection. Then suddenly, standing beside you is your 20-year-old self, full of hope, full of dreams, full of impossible ambitions. That young version of you smiles and asks only one question. Did we make it? Silence. No excuses. No explanations. Only truth. Would you proudly say, yes, we fought with everything we had? Or would tears fill your eyes because fear became stronger than your dreams? That moment should terrify you because regret is heavier than failure. Failure says, at least you tried. Regret whispers, you never even began. Listen carefully. The graveyard is filled not only with people, but with dreams, songs never sung, books never written, businesses never started, ideas never shared, lives never fully lived. Every gravestone tells the same silent story. I thought I had more time. No one plans to waste life. They simply postpone it, one day at a time. Tomorrow, next month, next year, until tomorrow becomes never. My friend, time is the only thing rich and poor receive equally, 24 hours. No one gets more, no one gets less. The difference is, some invest it, others spend it. Imagine someone deposited $86,400 into your account every morning. But whatever you didn't use before midnight disappeared forever. Would you waste it? Of course not. Yet every day, life gives you 86,400 seconds. Most people throw them away as if another deposit is guaranteed. It isn't. Some people reading these words today will not be here next year. Life makes no promises. That is why purpose cannot wait. Tell me honestly, what are you chasing? Approval, comfort, entertainment, or significance? There is a dangerous disease spreading across this generation. It is invisible. It doesn't require medicine. It slowly kills dreams. Its name is distraction. Hours disappear. Days disappear. Years disappear. People become experts at watching other people succeed, but beginners at building their own future. They know every celebrity, every trend, every viral video. But ask them, who are you becoming? Silence. Because identity cannot be built by consuming. It is built by creating. by serving, by sacrificing, by refusing to stay ordinary. Your phone knows exactly what you've been doing. Your future does too. Every hour wasted today will introduce itself tomorrow as regret. There was once a young man who believed he had forever. Every New Year's Day, he made promises. This year I'll change. This year I'll become disciplined. This year I'll make my parents proud. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Nothing changed until one afternoon, he walked into his childhood home. His mother was sitting quietly by the window. For the first time, he noticed something. Her hair had become almost completely white. Her hands were shaking. The woman who once carried him now struggled to carry a cup of tea. His father walked slowly across the room. The strongest man he had ever known needed support to climb the stairs. In that moment, he realized something that shattered him. While he was waiting, life had never stopped moving. His parents had grown old while he was making excuses. He ran into his room, closed the door, looked into the mirror, and whispered through tears, "What have I been doing with my life?" That question changed everything. Not because someone motivated him, because reality finally reached him. Maybe today, reality is knocking on your door. Maybe this speech isn't here to entertain you. Maybe it's here to interrupt the comfortable lie that you still have unlimited time. You don't. None of us do. One day, your parents will call your name for the last time. One day, someone will attend your funeral. One day, your chair at the dinner table will remain empty. When that day comes, what story will people tell? Will they say they had big dreams or they had the courage to live them? The world doesn't need another person who complains. It needs someone who solves problems, who keeps promises, who honors their parents, who stands back up every time life knocks them down. So don't ask, why doesn't the world know my name? Ask something far more important. What have I done today to deserve being remembered tomorrow? Because names are never built through words. They are built through sacrifice, through discipline, through character, through the quiet decisions nobody applauds. And perhaps tonight, as you turn off this video, you'll look into a mirror, not to fix your appearance, but to face your truth. Because the person staring back at you is either becoming your greatest achievement or your greatest regret. The choice begins now. Last night, before you went to sleep, someone else was taking their final breath. While you were making plans for next year, someone else's story came to an end. That is the truth. None of us likes to face. Death never sends an invitation. It simply arrives. And when it does, it doesn't ask, "How old were you?" It asks only one question. What did you do with the life I gave you? Think about that. If today, everything you owned disappeared, your money, your phone, your social media, your expensive clothes, your followers, what would remain? Would there still be a person worth remembering? Or have you spent years building an image instead of building a character? There is a huge difference. Images impress people. Character changes people. An image disappears the moment the spotlight turns off. Character continues to shine, even in darkness. And one day, darkness will visit all of us. There was another young man, not rich, not famous, not gifted with extraordinary talent. He worked ordinary jobs. He failed more times than he succeeded. People laughed at his dreams. Friends disappeared. Relatives whispered, "He's wasting his life." Every rejection felt like another door closing. There were nights he cried alone. Not because he was weak, but because carrying a dream is sometimes the loneliest journey on earth. One evening, he walked past his father's room. The door was slightly open. He saw something he wished he had never seen. His father, the man who had always looked unbreakable, was sitting on the edge of the bed, holding an old family photograph. His shoulders were shaking. For the first time in his life, he saw his father crying, quietly, silently. Not because he wanted wealth, not because he wanted fame, but because he was afraid that he would leave this world. Before seeing his son become the man he always believed he could be. That night, The young man didn't sleep. He sat alone until sunrise. And he made one promise. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more wasting the life my parents sacrificed for. That promise changed his destiny. Not overnight. Not in 1 month. Not even in 1 year. It changed. One disciplined day at a time. Because success is never built in a single moment. It's built on ordinary mornings when nobody is watching. On lonely nights when quitting feels easier than continuing. On painful days when your heart says, stop, but your purpose whispers, one more step. My friend, do you know why most people remain unknown? Because they are addicted to comfort. Comfort is beautiful. It feels safe, warm, easy. But comfort has destroyed more dreams than failure ever has. Comfort tells you, skip today's work, watch one more video, sleep another hour, start tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. One day, you wake up 40 years old, still saying, tomorrow. Don't let tomorrow steal your today, because today is the only place where your future can be built. Every sunrise is asking you, will you waste me? Every sunset is asking, what did you build? The answer is written by your habits, not your intentions. Intentions don't build names. Actions do. There will be people who laugh at you. Let them laugh. There will be people who doubt you. Let them doubt. There will be people who walk away. Let them leave. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you. Some people are only chapters, not the whole story. Never stop your journey just because someone else didn't believe in your destination. Look at the mountains. They stand through storms. They don't ask the wind for permission to exist. Be like that. Stand firm, even when life becomes difficult. Especially when life becomes difficult. Because pressure doesn't destroy diamonds. It creates them. Can I ask you one question? If your younger self walked into this room right now, would they be inspired by the person you become? Or would they quietly ask, what happened to our dreams? Don't answer me. Answer yourself. Because deep inside, you already know the truth. And the beautiful thing about truth is that it can still change your future. As long as you're breathing, your story isn't finished. As long as your heart beats, you still have another page to write. Don't let anyone convince you that it's too late. It's too late. Only when you stop trying. Remember your mother, the prayers she whispered when nobody was listening. Remember your father, the sacrifices he never talked about. Remember the nights when they went without so you could have enough. Don't allow those sacrifices to become forgotten memories. Turn them into fuel, into discipline, into purpose, into action. One day, your parents may no longer be here. One day, the phone won't ring with your mother's voice. One day, your father's advice will exist only in your memories. Before that day arrives, give them something beautiful to witness. Let them see a son or a daughter who refused to surrender, who stood back up after every failure, who built a life, not just for themselves, but for everyone who believed in them. And when people finally speak your name, don't let them remember your excuses. Let them remember your courage, your honesty, your discipline, your kindness, your faith, your resilience. Because those things outlive success, outlive money, outlive fame. One day, everything you own will belong to someone else. Your house, your car, your clothes, your bank account. Everything will stay behind. Only one thing will continue walking long after you're gone, your legacy. So starting today, don't live trying to be noticed. Live trying to be needed. Don't chase applause, chase excellence. Don't chase followers. Become someone worth following. Don't ask, how can I become famous? Ask, how can I become unforgettable? And remember this, the world doesn't slowly learn your name because you demanded attention. The world learns your name because your character, your work, your sacrifice, and your service become too powerful to ignore. So walk out of this moment with one promise. No more waiting. No more hiding. No more excuses. From this day forward, every sunrise will become another opportunity to build a life that your parents are proud of, your future self is grateful for, and the world will one day remember. Because when your final chapter is written, may people never say they simply existed. May they say they lived with purpose, they lifted others, they left the world better than they found it.